I would like to start by thanking Super User One for lending me his Simgot EW200. This one is currently on sale and it was being sold at $60 when it was introduced, but at this point of time, it is being sold at $40. That is a very good bargain for this IEM and three other IEMs in this video. The second one being the Oriveti OD100. This one is priced at $70. This one houses a 9.2 dynamic driver. I forgot about the EW200. EW200 houses a 10 dual cavity, dual passive radiator kind of chamber and 10 DLC, I think. And the most expensive one that was most expensive is the Tripowin Rhombus. This one is currently retailing at $50, but I believe it was introduced at $80 and it houses the highest number of drivers in this comparison. This one has a 10 uh, LCPU PU, I think composite kind of driver, LCPU driver, and the last but not the least is the tin T2 DLC. This one has a 10 dynamic driver, diamond like carbon driver, and all these IEMs in this comparison have very good cables. None of these are bad cables, but yes, the Tripowin does not have a very good looking cable. I will not complain about the cable because these aren't very premium IEMs at 70 $80. You are not supposed to complain a lot, but when we look at the uh, Oriveti OD100, we look at the cable quality of this IEM. One can always complain, as it seems this cable is very good for the price we are getting it at, and it looks nice. You guys can see aesthetically too. This one is a very good looking cable and complements the IEM nicely. Yes, Tripowin could have provided a slightly better cable, but that is okay. Sadly, the EW200 doesn't have the stock cable. I was given a pure copper 4.4 balanced cable, but the stock cable is not balanced or anything like that. So I auditioned the EW200 with the uh, Oriveti OD100 cable. So this isn't exactly a biased one because I'm not using the balanced cable for auditioning for this comparison. So yeah, I used it with this too, but the write up that I have done is with the uh, I've done a bit of writing, so that is done with the OD100 cable. Yes, it not exactly the stock cable, but yes, it isn't going to be very different from this assessment. So we start with the tin T2 DLC. This one is the oldest one of this bunch, I believe, and is a very well tuned IM. There are no big issues, obviously, but yes, if we go deeper into the sound quality, we do not get very good sub bass extension. Okay, there is a very good mid bass body and bigger impact area, but it's not exactly great with the sub bass extension isn't exactly great, and if we look at the definition, it isn't exactly great either, but we get very good layered and a very good amount of rumble. But yes, the definition isn't exactly great either. And when we move into the mid-range, I'll have to say the best part of this IEM is the mid-range. The original tin T2 was known for its treble, the higher definition and resolution of the treble, but this one is a more mid-range friendly IEM, and I have no issues in stating that this one has some of the best vocals under $100. It is very capable when it comes to vocals. It is neither warm nor bright, so there is no thinness or extra heft. It is very accurate and very very good when it comes to vocal quality. They have very good finishing definition with a very realistic kind of timbre. Vocals, yes, the only issue I can find with the vocals are this: these vocals notes could have been a bit more taller. Okay, they could have been a bit more taller with slightly more finishing energy. Okay, a bit more finishing definition would have been awesome, but it's perfectly fine, no issues with that either. And no upper mid sharpness or aggression to be worried about, so that's a great thing. And instruments are slightly lacking when it comes to the definition. I am not complaining, but yes, the definition of the instruments could have been a bit more better. And if we compare it with the rhombus, rhombus is a bit more defined in that regard. The instruments are more defined. They have better clarity and better transparency. And all of these IEMs in the mid-range instrument section are a bit more defined than the T2. T2 is okay in that regard, but it isn't exactly great or anything like that. So that is the issue. And treble is its weaker point. Okay, no questions about that. The definition isn't exactly great, and layering separation are just average. Nothing to write home about. And stage is big. No issues with the stage. Stage is very well spread in the head and out of the head, but thanks to the lack of accuracy and precision, it doesn't feel very good when it comes to imaging. Okay, imaging kind of suffers, but there aren't any major issues. Okay, it's not like you are lacking anything, but if you are using it for high paced, high density music, this might feel slightly lacking with the clarity. Okay, the definition isn't exactly great, and the air between instruments aren't great, while all other three IEMs are better in that regard. We will move into the Tripowin Rhombus. Rhombus is a more capable IEM, definitely, no questions about that. It has a hybrid setup and the most well equipped IEM of this comparison, and it has a deeper sub bass. Okay, I will say this is a sub bass friendly IEM, very deep kind of sub bass. This one and the EW200 have very well defined sub basses. Okay, they are very good when it comes to sub bass rumble, and the depth is very good. I like the depth of these two IEMs. While this one is a bit on the tighter side, this one is a bit on the slower side, a bit more punchy, a bit more slower side, and both sound very good. No issues when it comes to sub bass. While this one has a bit of tighter and less smaller, not less, smaller impact area. This one has a bigger impact area, and this one has slightly tighter mid bass. This one has slightly loose kind of mid bass, and both are very good. No issues with that. The layers and separation are good, and definition on the EW200 isn't exactly great because of its slower decay, while this one is slightly better, but it isn't exactly mild sad or anything like that. uh, the only issue I find it with is the notes could have been a bit more fuller. Okay, they have very good energy, the finishing energy is very good, but while I was expecting the notes to gradually go thin in the finishing region, they are a bit thinner in that region. It could have been more fuller, and that would have given it the extra amount of cohesion and extra amount of body that we all like. Male vocals are a bit less throaty, but yes, female vocals are very good. Instruments, as I said, are tight bodied with very good finishing definition. Notes are more transparent, cleaner, clearer, with excellent air between them. Upper mid is a bit more forward but doesn't feel aggressive or uncomfortable either. But yes, I was expecting a bit more body from this, and that is the only downside I see. Notes are very well transparent, no issues with that. Treble is very good too. We get very good clarity. It has very good energy, more transparent. presentation is very agile, clear, and sparkly. I'll have to admit the treble of the Tripowin Rhombus is the cleanest of the lot. Second is the OD100. OD100 is clean, but this one has better treble extension and better energy up till the upper treble region, while this one is slightly less aggressive in the upper treble region, slightly darker, I'll have to say. Its lower treble and mid treble are good, similarly energetic, but a bit more fuller, a bit more bodied. The body of the notes in that region are better than the rhombus. That is where the rhombus is slightly lacking. The body isn't exactly great. If it had a bit more body, it would have been a very capable IEM. But yes, that extra bit of precision and accuracy, tighter notes is giving it the extra bit of air. The imaging is very good. The stage isn't very big, but the imaging and cue placement are very good. Sonics are very good too, no issues with that. And the layering separation thanks to the tighter notes is superb, very good. Layering and separation, the air between instruments is excellent. Contrast is decent. I will not say the contrast is very good. When it comes to contrast, the Oriveti OD100 is the best when it comes to contrast. It has softer notes. It lands softly, even though it doesn't have very soft or very hard kind of notes. It lands with a softer feel to it. So that is where the contrast comes into play. Very good contrast of the OD200. But let's talk about the EW200 first. Uh, I like the EW200 because of its bassy nature. It is the slowest bass. Okay, it is more rumbly, has the biggest punch. Okay, highest amount of weight behind notes. It is the bassiest IM of the lot. No issues with that. Me saying, mid bass, as I said, it has a loose kind of feel to it. That's where the weight is gained. Okay, it has slight bit of heft to it, which gives it the extra bit of cohesion. Okay, it doesn't help with the dynamics. All these three IEM are capable of hitting more variety of notes than the EW200. EW200 is kind of lacking with the variation there. It but that lack of variation gives it the extra bit of cohesion. Okay, every note, every bass note lands with a softer ending, so it is more cushiony, more softer, and more engaging, more entertaining. You do not feel the hard punches, but that doesn't give it the technical points while giving it the fun oriented points. Now moving on to the mid range, I like this mid range. There aren't any issues with the mid range or anything like that. They have very good clarity, but thanks to the V-shaped signature, they aren't very tall. Okay, very tall or very transparent like OD100 or Tripowin Rhombus. These are more transparent, while this one is decent. I will not complain, but I'm not very pleased either. So that's where this stands. Vocals are similar to Rhombus, but with a bit more body. This one has best vocal and mid range, while this one isn't exactly lagging. So that is a good thing. Okay, it isn't lacking there, but it isn't delivering as good body or as good mid range as the OD100. We'll talk about that within a minute or two. And vocals are similar. No issues with the vocals, similar to the rhombus. Male vocals are slightly less throaty than the OD100, but they have decent amount of throatiness, and female vocals are good. Its tonality is neutral, very neutral to be precise. I was kind of inclined, I was leaning towards it being slightly metallic, but no, it isn't exactly metallic or anything like that. There are no issues with the tonality and timbre. That is a very good thing. And we do get a bit of extra energy in the upper mid range, but that is okay. It isn't exactly anything I will complain about. Triple is a mixed bag here. Okay, this is a $40 IEM at this point of time, and triple is where this IEM feels a bit more messed. Okay, it's slightly unclear. Okay, not as clear as either Rhombus or OD100. While when we compare this to when it comes to triple, I'll say the T2 DLC is less capable. Okay, it is a bit more messed up. Okay, it has lower resolution, lower definition, while AW200 is not as bad as the T2 DLC, but it isn't exactly great either. While the upper treble is a bit less forward, the lower and mid treble are decently energized, but they aren't great when it comes to definition, layering, and separation. It is okay, it is decent, but it isn't great. And we move on to the Oriveti OD100. This one is priced at $70, is retailing at 70, and more expensive than all these three IEMs. And this is the most capable IEM of this lot, but it isn't exactly flawless either. There is a bit of issue up up front. Okay, it isn't exactly great when it comes to sub bass body. Okay, sub bass is okay at best, but the mid bass is fuller. Mid bass is uh, mid bass has extra bit of punch and weight, and it has faster decay. Its dynamics are very good when it comes to uh, definition and clarity, but the rumble is not exactly great with the sub bass. When it comes to sub bass rumble, EW200 is the most rumbly. As I said, this one has the highest amount of sub bass rumble. This one is okay, there isn't anything great about it, but that really helps it with the control and accuracy with the bass notes. It is more controlled, more dynamic. And when we move on to the mid-range and treble, this is very good. This is the class topper of all these four IEMs. This is the best IEM. Under $80, I have heard. I'll say it has neutral and effortless timbre, a bit more organic to slightly more organic, slightly more analog, or else you will say it is fairly on the neutral side. There are no issues with male or female vocals. Male vocals are very throaty, while female vocals are well defined and with very good clarity. Unlike the T2 DLC, where notes aren't exactly tall, we get taller notes, while the Tripowin is thin bodied. This one isn't thin or anything like that, and that is the best thing about this. The tonality and timbre are good, while notes aren't dull or thin. So if we look into the definition, I'll say this one has even better details and definition than AR3 SE. Extension is very good at both ends. The treble is very well defined up till the mid treble region. Lower and mid treble are very good, but the upper treble is a bit on the darker side. There is slightly robbing it off of the extra bit of extension, but I'll have to say for the price this is very well extended, very good for the price. We get a, a very well developed stage. The stage and imaging is excellent on this one. As I mentioned earlier, the imaging is very good. Layering and separation are fantastic. Very good contrast between back and foreground instruments, and this one has a more 3D presentation. Unlike any of these IEMs do not have a 3D kind of stage, while this one has a very 3D kind of stage. It projects the instruments around the head, which all these three IEMs aren't very good at. This one is very good at projection, so that is the plus point of this IEM. We get very good sonics and stuff too. So this one is the most capable IEM of this lot if you are not looking for a bassy IEM. But if you are looking for a bassy IEM, this one is the one to get. EW200 is the base IEM. If you want a detailed yet sub-bass oriented IEM, go for the Tripowin Rhombus. Very good quality IEM. But if you want a laid back and smooth sounding IEM, go for the Tin T2 DLC. So this is my comparison of three high quality budget IEMs. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Enjoy.